Okay, we are going to start painting in this giraffe in yellow using our yellow brush, the medium round brush, maybe a quarter size. We're going to make a circle right around here. Start kind of small like this. You can always make it bigger. Just kind of stretch it out a little bit. That's about the right size. Now we're going to raise it, this awesome neck of our giraffe going up this way. And we're just going to give it a gentle curve like this. Gentle curve. Keep it about the same width until you get to the base of the neck right here, where you can flare it out and make a kind of a soft curve that joins the circle like this. And round out, finish out that circle like this. Now we're going to add some legs. Widen it out, lightly tapering. Okay, turn over here, like pretend it's going off the edge of the canvas and coming back down over here. You don't want it any wider or narrower than this part. It should be all the same width across. Okay, and now we want to create an oval shape like this, just a soft oval. Okay? And from this oval, right over here, we're going to create another oval that's attached like that. Using the same brush, we're just going to fill it all in yellow. Add it to my yellow. And if you want, this might be a really good trick for us, is to flip this upside down so that we're looking at the head in an easier angle. This is an easier angle to handle because we want to kind of see the shape of his face. Okay, and I can see kind of roughly comparing the two, but I'm going to widen this part out a little bit. Round out the nose a little bit. And now I'm going to create this awesome little leaf shape for the ear. And this one's going to go off the edge of the canvas. And then he's going to have these two little horns that have a rounded point, his little horns. And now we flip him back around, all around it, and we can sharpen out that edge. There, that's stage number 1 of our giraffe painting. Hey there, we're back. So flat brush. I got it a little bit wet, wrung it out, and then I'm going to pinch the edge. Pinch it so that it's super sharp. And we're going to be painting with the top sharp part, not with the face part. And we're going to squeeze out some orange. I have some orange here. Start kind of just in the center and kind of make a wobbly, kind of star-shaped circle. Fill it in like that. And that's spot number 1. Now, once you have spot number 1, it's easy to figure out the rest of them because they will fit together like puzzle pieces. So basically, I'm going to leave a little gap, maybe half an inch, and create an outline that just sort of tucks around the first one. Make sure it's a little bit different than the first one. When you get to the outer edges, that the outer edge, I'm going to do it here on the leg, follows the contour of your giraffe like this. So that part is straight. And we're just going to keep going. So yellow brush, the the medium round, and we're gonna actually combine yellow plus a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of orange. Add like this, and to his horns, like that, using the round brush, like that. And now I'm just gonna very lightly, using this motion, I'm gonna try to do it this way and that way and back and forth. And they get smaller and smaller, these little shorter little smiley gestures with the peach color. And then they get wider and wider and wider as they come up to the top of the head. Little bit on his chin, whatever's left on your brush. You can probably delineate his chin like that a little bit. Not a lot of paint, very little paint on my brush. I'm not pushing hard. Next step is the dark brown. So I squeezed out a little bit over here, about a quarter size, and we're going to use the yellow brush again. I'm going to roll my brush in my brown sideways to make a point, like this. So I'm basically retracing the same shape about a quarter inch inside each of those spots and filling them in like this. And we're going to do all the spots like that. One other place we're going to put the brown color. Same brush, rolling it in my paint again to sharpen that point. Inside the ears, see these leaf shapes that are well inside the ear? We want to make sure we keep that yellow outline. And I'm going to get it closer to this edge, like that. Filling this one in. And now with what's left on the brush, that brown that's left on the brush, I'm going to get rid of the excess. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the orange and mix it up with the brown and orange here. Just like a nice burnt color. I'm going to color in the tips of his little horns here. Short little upward strokes with the point of the brush. Like that. And also some smaller spots, you might want to pick up a little more orange for the smaller spots. These on the, like that. Now while our giraffe is drying, we're going to tackle the background color. So you're going to squeeze out some white right there and a much smaller amount of blue. And we're going to mix them up together. Now I'm going to use my lime green brush. It's the big round brush you have. And we're basically going to start applying the paint in big crosshatch kind of X's and W's. Use your yellow brush or even your little detail brush, whatever brush helps you get the job done. Alrighty, so we're done with the spots and we're done with the background. And now I'm turning this guy upside down as well as ours. I'm going to turn him upside down. Our detail brush, the orange one. And you'll notice on this guy that he's kind of turned at a 3/4 profile here. So this is the part of his face that's closest to us, so you see more of his eye. On this side, you only see about half of his eye because he's turning away from us there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our tiny little brush. We're going to get it a little bit wet. We have to kind of eyeball it, no pun intended. The eyes are never in the center of the face because that's only something that humans have. With most animals, they're further apart, like under the ears. So this one, I'm just going to make one big almond-shaped eye like this. And the great thing about giraffes, like llamas and alpacas, they have big, big eyes. With eye, you can even kind of make a big old circle inside and paint it in brown. This one's turning away from us, so you're not going to see the whole eye, you're just going to see a side of it. I'm going to put it right here, just this half of it, half of the eye. See that? Half of the eye. But you'll still see his eyelashes. He has enormous eyelashes. With giraffes, you don't really see, we're going to give him long, beautiful eyelashes. A slight curve to that pupil. And on this side too, long, beautiful eyelashes. The nostrils. The nostrils are actually, they're like quotation marks that are kind of on their bellies like this. So this is a little hole, like a little tiny little circle with a little tail. Just a touch, a little bit higher like this. And the quotation is going in the other direction, so a little tail like that. Last thing we're going to do is we are going to add some greenery, some beautiful little stems and weeds and things into his little mouth there. So I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of green, not too much. My red brush, that's the small flat one that I have wet, and pinch the edge of his mouth. So over here, we're going to just use the edge of our brush, just the skinniest part, and we're going to create a few little pieces of stem that are hanging out this part. And they can be either totally straight or they can start hanging down, but in our case up. So basically you could do that, and then this one can go straighter and straighter. Turn it upside down. There it is. See? It's hanging down out of his mouth and gravity's dragging it down. And we can make leaves. Again, we're only using the edge of the red brush, and we can create leaves by just doing these little shapes. Very important that the leaves have a nice sharp point on them. Now for the flower, you can make a daisy, you can make a purple flower, a red flower. That's totally entirely up to you. But I'm going to just go ahead and make the daisy. And putting white paint on my red brush. And the same way we did the leaves, we're going to do the petals. So basically, that's petal number one, and you're going to go around and around, and you can do as many little petals in there as you like. Then we're going to let that dry, and then we'll put in a yellow center. Okay, one last little detail. That's the tops of the ears. So far, they're just yellow, but we can darken them up a little bit with a little bit of orange mixed with yellow. So with just a little bit of that orangey yellow, I'm just going to highlight the top, or rather low light the tops of his ears. So they're kind of connected to the rest of his face. What we're going to do is add a little bit of orange to the chin and work it up very lightly like this. Now just kind of go back to your light blue color and kind of do a little ring around the yellow part. And that kind of recesses, and then I'm spreading it out like a sunshine. And that kind of makes the little yellow center look like it's recessed. See, add little dots. Again, we're using the back end of the little brush. You can put little dots and connect them to other little stems. It's very cute if you do that. And basically, we're all set. We're all done here. See you guys next week.